Because I keep getting a lot of questions or reference to Kevin Ryan, I feel I need to make this short video to demonstrate and make my position clear on his misinformation that he continues to peddle about Flight 77 or any of the 9/11 flights by demonstrating his journalistic flaws. I'm not going to bother explaining his whole story since I expect those here familiar with 9/11 Truth mostly already know who he is. He's the former NIST employee who gained popularity in loose change, and in 2013 he put out a book called Another 19. In 2016, on his Dig Within It blog, he posted an article on May 30th titled, An Insider's Look at the Dullest 9/11 Video. I've covered the basic claims in this article and ones also shared by others in my film 6 on 77. He typically believes that the hijacked plane, American Airlines Flight 77, did not strike the Pentagon. Therefore, his pursuit is to doubt all the chain of evidence from Dulles Airport as being fake, or as others suggest, recording of a dry run prior and not from September 11, 2001. But if you take notice on Kevin's article, it says, could the video be fraudulent? Dulles Airport security manager Ed Nelson said that the FBI confiscated the actual video from the CCTV system sometime after 10 a.m. on 9/11. Nelson wondered how the FBI knew who the hijackers were out of hundreds of people going through the checkpoints. 2 days later, it was reported that FBI agents had examined footage from dozens of cameras at the 3 airports where the terrorists boarded the aircraft. However, the official account claimed that no such footage existed except for the one video later released as the Dulles CCTV evidence. Well, the first thing that's wrong with what he stated, which is something I've already pointed out on my film 6 on 77, is that they actually released 2 angles to the press on July 22, 2004, the day before they released the 9/11 Commission report. But the main thing that's wrong is everything Kevin is trying to portray about the airport security manager Ed Nelson, because his testimony has already been available for anybody to read or see, both in a book from 2006 and in a short 2010 documentary titled Unsafe at Any Altitude. Apparently all Kevin did was source 911truth.org, who had taken Ed Nelson not only out of context, but completely out of the picture with the scenario by excluding a major detail. Ed Nelson also witnessed authorities sifting through the CCTV security tapes. To show you how completely wrong 9/11 Truth and Kevin Ryan are for having taken out of context and misrepresented what Ed Nelson said, take a listen yourself at what physical position he was at in Dulles on 9/11 and why and when he expressed his bewilderment towards authorities having fast identifying ability.
Eyewitnesses were the only remaining source. 58 of the hard drives for the electric badges were confiscated by the FBI, along with the security camera video. Ed Nelson saw the tape just hours after the attack.
Because right when they showed me the tape, they rolled it, stop. Now there's one. Roll it, stop. There's the second one. I mean, they knew right away, and there was many of people coming through that checkpoint at the same time.
But Ed, how would they know? The FBI claimed they had no idea who these hijackers were.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it boggles my mind.
Now, as you can see, Ed Nelson wasn't wondering how the FBI could identify the hijackers through hundreds of people after they had already confiscated the CCTV tapes. This is a reaction to something happening in front of him. In other words, this Ed Nelson testimony actually confirms live authenticity of Dulles CCTV tapes soon after transactions with the authorities. When 911truth.org and Kevin Ryan's intention is to dismiss these major validating details in order to support their false claims of fabrications to portray Ed Nelson from a security expert angle, rather than having witnessed part of the investigation. And if you think that just because the Dulles CCTV tapes were released without a timestamp is a reason to still believe these tapes are fake, then watch the film 6 on 77, the Dulles Airport 9/11 cover-up, for more information and details about the CCTV releases that confirms they are exactly what they are. Dulles security recordings from September 11, 2001.